What if I told you that your life could change, not in years, not in months, but in just 1 week? Imagine waking up 7 days from now with a clearer mind, a stronger will, and a newfound sense of purpose. Sounds impossible, doesn't it? Yet this is not the promise of a fad or fleeting motivation. It's the power of philosophy, ancient, timeless, and as relevant today as it was over 2,000 years ago. The Stoics believed that life's greatest transformations come not from grandiose gestures but from small, deliberate habits that align us with nature, help us master our minds and navigate the chaos of the modern world. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca didn't just survive adversity. They thrived because they mastered these habits. And so can you. In this video, I'm sharing 5 Stoic habits that completely transformed my life in just 1 week. These aren't abstract theories, they're practical, actionable, and deeply rooted in Stoic wisdom. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools to face life's challenges with grace, cultivate inner peace, and most importantly, take control of your destiny. Ready to transform your life? Let's dive in. Habit 1. Embrace voluntary discomfort. What does it mean to truly embrace discomfort? Imagine this: you're living in ancient Rome, a bustling city of noise, politics, and constant uncertainty. Amid this chaos, there's a man dressed simply, walking barefoot in the cold. His name, Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher. Epictetus deliberately chose discomfort, not because he enjoyed suffering, but because he understood its power. He knew that by facing voluntary hardships, he could strengthen his mind and prepare for the inevitable challenges life would throw his way. This isn't just a tale of ancient wisdom, it's a principle we can apply today. Think about your own life. How often do we avoid discomfort at all costs? We scroll through our phones instead of tackling that difficult task. We crank up the heat on a cold day instead of stepping outside to feel the bite of winter. But here's the truth: when we shield ourselves from discomfort, we also shield ourselves from growth. In Stoic philosophy, embracing voluntary discomfort is a form of practice. Seneca called it practicing poverty. He would go days eating the simplest of meals and wearing the barest of clothes. Why? To remind himself that he could endure hardship and still be content. By doing so, he robbed fear of its power. He proved to himself that even in discomfort, he could thrive. So how can you adopt this practice in your modern life? Start small. Take a cold shower in the morning. It's not just about enduring the chill, but about training your mind to step into discomfort willingly. Walk instead of driving, even if it's inconvenient. Skip that second cup of coffee and see how your body reacts. These small acts of voluntary discomfort build resilience, strengthen your character, and remind you that you're capable of more than you think. The beauty of this practice lies in its simplicity. You're not waiting for life to throw challenges your way. You're choosing them. And when life inevitably does test you, as it always will, you'll find yourself more prepared, more grounded, and less shaken by adversity. But let's take a moment to reflect. Is this about seeking pain for its own sake? Not at all. The Stoics weren't masochists. It's about mastery over your reactions. It's about proving to yourself that your happiness isn't tethered to comfort. It's about finding strength in discipline and freedom in resilience. Embracing discomfort teaches us to be stronger. But strength alone isn't enough. To truly live a fulfilled life, we need a deeper understanding of what drives us. And that begins with an awareness of life's impermanence. So let's explore the next habit, reflecting on mortality and how it can transform the way we see the world. Habit 2. Reflect on mortality daily. Imagine you're holding an hourglass, and with every grain of sand that slips through, you're reminded that time is finite. Now picture this. How would your life change if you could see the hourglass of your own life? How would it feel to know exactly how much sand remains? While this might seem unsettling, the Stoics believed it was the key to truly living. Memento mori, remember you must die. These 2 words are at the heart of Stoic philosophy, not as a grim reminder, but as a call to action. Marcus Aurelius, one of Rome's greatest emperors, reflected on mortality every day. He wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." For the Stoics, contemplating death wasn't morbid. It was liberating. By acknowledging the fragility of life, they unlocked a profound sense of urgency and gratitude. Think about your own life. How often do we delay our dreams, assuming there will always be more time? We say, "I'll start tomorrow. I'll call them next week," or "there's always next year." But what if tomorrow never comes? What if this week is all we have? The Stoics teach us that reflecting on mortality is not about living in fear, but about living with purpose. So how can you make this practice part of your daily life? Start with a simple exercise each morning. Remind yourself that today could be your last. Not to paralyze yourself with dread, but to focus on what truly matters. Ask yourself, if this were my final day, would I spend it worrying about trivial things, or would I embrace it fully with love, courage, and intention? Another powerful tool is journaling. At the end of the day, reflect, did I live today as if it were my last? Did I give my best to the people and tasks that matter most? This practice can be humbling but also deeply clarifying. You'll begin to see what deserves your energy and what doesn't. Modern life often distracts us from this truth. We're surrounded by distractions that make us forget how precious time is. But when you pause to reflect on mortality, you'll notice a shift. You'll start prioritizing experiences over possessions, relationships over resentment, and courage over fear. You'll live with a sense of urgency, not rushing but appreciating. The Stoics didn't reflect on death to dwell on the end, but to enrich the present. As Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." By embracing this habit, you're not just preparing for the end. You're learning to truly live. Reflecting on mortality grounds us in what truly matters. But even as we focus on the present, life's challenges often demand clarity of action. This is where the next habit becomes essential, mastering the art of the dichotomy of control. Let's explore how understanding what's within our power can bring unparalleled peace and focus. Habit 3. Master the dichotomy of control. Picture this. You're standing in the middle of a storm, wind howling and rain pouring down. You can't stop the storm, but you can control whether you stand firm or crumble. This is the essence of one of the most empowering Stoic principles, the dichotomy of control. It's a lesson that, once mastered, can bring profound clarity and peace to your life. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who knew hardship intimately, wrote, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." At first glance, this seems obvious, but think about how often we blur these lines in our daily lives. We stress over a delayed flight, a harsh comment, or even the weather. Why? Because we're trying to control what is, by nature, uncontrollable. The dichotomy of control teaches us to focus only on what we can influence, our thoughts, actions, and responses, and let go of everything else. Imagine the freedom in that. When you stop fighting battles you can't win, you free up energy to master the battles that truly matter. Let's make this practical. The next time you feel frustrated, pause and ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, let it go. If it's yes, take deliberate action. For example, if someone criticizes you unfairly, you can't control their opinion, but you can control how you respond, calmly, with grace, or not at all. This shift in mindset is liberating. You stop being a victim of circumstances and become the master of your reactions. To build this habit, consider a daily reflection exercise. At the end of each day, review the situations that upset or frustrated you. Ask yourself, did I focus on what was in my control? Over time, you'll find yourself less reactive and more composed, even in the face of chaos. In today's fast-paced world, this principle is a lifeline. Social media, for instance, bombards us with things we can't control: political debates, celebrity gossip, and endless comparisons. The dichotomy of control reminds us to focus on what truly matters: our own values, actions, and growth. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, practiced this habit daily. Despite ruling an empire fraught with wars and plagues, he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." His words resonate across time because they speak to a universal truth. Our peace doesn't depend on what happens to us, but on how we respond. Mastering the dichotomy of control gives us the clarity to focus on what matters. But clarity alone isn't enough. To live a truly Stoic life, we need to align our actions with our values. And that's where the next habit comes in, practicing morning and evening reflection. Let's explore how this timeless ritual can transform your days. Habit 4. Practice morning and evening reflection. The sun rises, filling the world with light, and later it sets, leaving everything in darkness. These two moments, the start and end of the day, are perfect opportunities for introspection. The Stoics understood this well. They believed that by beginning the day with intention and ending it with reflection, we could align ourselves with our highest values and grow closer to the life we aspire to live. In the morning, Marcus Aurelius would prepare himself for the day, head by reflecting on his purpose. He wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." But he didn't stop there. He also anticipated the challenges he might face, difficult people, obstacles, unexpected setbacks, and resolved to meet them with patience and reason. This practice wasn't about pessimism, but about preparation. By visualizing the day ahead, Marcus armed himself with the tools to respond to life's unpredictability with clarity and composure. In the modern world, we can adopt this practice in a way that fits our lives. Each morning, take 5 minutes to ask yourself, what is my purpose today? What challenges might I encounter, and how will I handle them? This simple ritual doesn't require a grand gesture, just a quiet moment with your thoughts and a commitment to act with intention. But the Stoics didn't stop at the morning. They knew that evening reflection was just as important. Seneca, one of Stoicism's greatest thinkers, described a nightly habit of self-examination. He would review the day and ask himself questions like, what did I do well today? What could I have done better? Did I act in alignment with my principles? This wasn't an exercise in self-criticism. It was an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to course correct for the future. Evening reflection is about accountability and growth. Think of it as a personal report card, not to judge yourself harshly, but to gain clarity. Did you stay calm in the face of stress? Did you treat others with kindness? Did you make progress toward your goals? Writing these reflections down in a journal can make the process even more powerful, turning abstract thoughts into tangible lessons. Why does this habit matter? Because without reflection, we drift. Life pulls us in 1,000 directions, and we risk losing sight of what truly matters. Morning and evening reflection act as anchors, grounding us in our values and helping us navigate life's complexities with intention and grace. Starting and ending the day with reflection helps us align our actions with our values. But what about cultivating gratitude for the present? This brings us to the next habit, practicing negative visualization, a powerful Stoic exercise that transforms how we view the world. Let's dive in. Habit 5. Cultivate gratitude through negative visualization. Imagine waking up tomorrow and finding that something you cherish is gone, a loved one, your health, or even the simple ability to watch the sunrise. How would that feel? Now imagine being given it back. Relief, joy, gratitude, that overwhelming sense of appreciation is exactly what the Stoics sought to cultivate through a practice called negative visualization. Negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, is not about dwelling on worst-case scenarios. Instead, it's a mental exercise to help us fully appreciate the present by imagining life without the things we often take for granted. As Seneca wrote, "He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand." But beyond preparing for challenges, this practice helps us notice the beauty and abundance in what we already have. In today's world, gratitude is often framed as a vague, positive feeling. But for the Stoics, gratitude was active and intentional. Instead of waiting for something to go wrong, they trained their minds to appreciate what was already right. For example, Epictetus advised reflecting on the fragility of life, not to feel fear, but to cherish every moment with loved ones, knowing how fleeting life can be. Here's how you can practice this habit in your daily life. Each morning, pick one thing you value deeply, a relationship, a possession, or even your physical abilities. Then spend a few moments imagining your life without it.
Picture the emptiness, the difficulty, or the longing you might feel.
Once you've visualized its absence, shift your focus to its presence in your life right now. Notice how this simple exercise transforms a mundane aspect of your day into something extraordinary. For example, consider something as simple as your morning cup of coffee. Imagine it's no longer part of your life, no warm aroma, no comforting ritual, no burst of energy. Now take a sip and feel the gratitude. Or think of a loved one you often take for granted. Imagine their absence, then send them a text or hug them tighter, appreciating their presence. Negative visualization doesn't just make us grateful, it strengthens our resilience. When we've mentally prepared for loss, we're less likely to be shattered by it. This doesn't mean we stop feeling pain or sorrow. It means we face life's challenges with greater composure and clarity. We recognize that everything we have is temporary, and instead of clinging to it in fear, we savor it fully. As Marcus Aurelius reflected, "Do not indulge in dreams of having what you have not, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess." and then thankfully remember how you would crave them if they were not yours. This mindset shifts us from longing for more to cherishing what already is. Negative visualization opens our eyes to life's abundance. But true transformation comes when these Stoic habits work together. Let's take a step back and explore how these practices, when combined, create a life of resilience, gratitude, and unshakable purpose. We've explored 5 Stoic habits that can transform your life in just 1 week. Embracing discomfort to build resilience. Reflecting on mortality to focus on what matters. Mastering the dichotomy of control to find clarity. Practicing daily reflection to align with your values. And cultivating gratitude through negative visualization. These habits aren't just ancient wisdom, they're practical tools for modern life. They help you navigate challenges, cherish the present, and live with intention. But here's the key. Knowledge means nothing without action. So I challenge you. Pick one habit and start today. Take that cold shower. Reflect on your mortality. Journal your day. Whatever it is, commit to it for 1 week. You'll be amazed at the clarity, peace, and purpose you'll feel. And remember, the Stoics didn't aim for perfection, they aimed for progress. So be patient with yourself. Growth takes time, but each small step moves you closer to the life you were meant to live. If this video resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who might need these lessons. And if you're ready to take this journey further, subscribe for more insights rooted in Stoic philosophy. Your best life isn't found in grand gestures or distant dreams. It's created in the habits you build today. So what will you choose?